Hello, and welcome back to this week's vlog. Have a look at these guys. Now, these are living dragons. These are a thing from my childhood that was the best thing I could ever find. And then back then I didn't even have a clue these were protected, because where I lived they were actually really common. And all the ponds I've ever had in my gardens have always had great crested newts in them, along with the common or the smooth newt. So we've just been having a change round the back here of the falconry centre at Icarus, and we've had to move a few logs. We just picked some logs up and moved them. And we've gone back and realised we've uncovered 3 amphibians, so we're going to reallocate them into this log pile nearby. Technically it's an offence to actually disturb them, but obviously if you don't know they're there and you're moving stuff around, you're not just going to leave them there open to the jackdaws and the elements. You're going to put them somewhere safe right next to where they came from. But have a look, they're in their living on land phase. They're an amphibian. They return to water to breed. In fact, some great crested newts stay in water all year round, but these guys have almost like a salamander now. They've lost their breeding dress, their lovely crests on the males, but look at these absolute beauties. And they grow twice this large. These are adults, they're of breeding age, but they grow twice this large. These are British animals, guys. We get them here. There's beautiful wildlife all around the world, but get your children out into the woodlands, appreciating the natural beauty and the natural history of where you live, especially here in England. We don't have as much diversity of reptiles and amphibians as hot countries, but for sure we still have world-beating examples. Newts, even the common or the smooth newt, a male in his breeding dress in the spring and summer, it's as good as you're going to get with wildlife. Absolute beauty. Let's pop them down. Soon be time to hibernate for these. They've got a log pile here. Unfortunately we've disrupted where they were, which is only 3 meters away, so I think they'll be okay. Let's just watch them go. And it's still mild enough that they're active and still hunting for wood lice and worms and small slugs and other arthropods and other invertebrates. Nice deep log pile here with leaf litter and old rabbit holes underneath, so good places for them to go and find somewhere to hibernate. Look at this, a harlequin ladybird, invasive species from America. It's now ousting our own 7-spot ladybird, and that too will be hibernating soon in these logs and anywhere under bark and crevices that it can, en masse. Invasive species doing far too well. While they wriggle away, let's have a look at the 3rd amphibian we found. By her very name, she's a common toad, buffo, and a lot more commoner and widespread than great crested newts are here in Britain. Great crested newts are actually very widespread animals, and they can be very locally common, but very fragmented habitat. That's why decent garden ponds without any fishing are really helpful nowadays to our amphibians. Farm ponds have been filled in, water courses and the water table has dried up, leaving natural ponds and ditches empty through the summer when their larval form, the tadpole, is feeding. So if you can provide a decent wildlife pond, preferably with no fishing, because they are devastating on amphibian eggs and larvae many times. But look at this beautiful common toad. Again, what a find. Look at the eyes of this beautiful amphibian. And a little wildlife pond, have a look behind you, just to give you some idea. It doesn't have to be huge, but it does have to have a few things to make it really useful for amphibians. The great crested newts have gone. We'll pop the toad away, have a look at the pond. We thought about stalling and landing. Maybe just going up there. Just going out on his outrun to get that lift off those trees. Should be good flying weather today. seasons are really changing now. Autumn's upon us. We're at the Fulcrum Centre again, cleaning out mews as always, cleaning out enclosures, keeping animals part of the job, big part of the job. But the seasons are really changing. We cut the lawn this week and it was damp and hadn't grown as much because of the cold nights. You can really feel that cold morning air. And the birds will soon have their changes, because to the end of autumn we'll rest certain birds and we'll get other team members back going. The great grey owl, for instance, she's actually back in training and she'll soon be flying to our guests. A real cold climate bird who relishes in the cold winter weather. Other birds, our barn owls here at Icarus Falconry, they have a 6-month on and a 6-month off period, so we'll be swapping Casper and Lily around. Lily will get a well-earned rest and Casper will be back flying again. And actually Casper tends to do the winter flying because in the summer months he eats far too many voles and goes self-hunting. He's a really efficient barn owl for sure. So all changes, lots of experience days still to get through before we wind up at Christmas. Have a couple of months rest here at the Falconry Centre. Well, a rest from the public of course, we never get a rest. Who knows what the new year will bring with COVID and the way the world is, but we'll look forward to it because this year's been a challenge. Surely next year can only get better. I'm talking about Christmas. My goodness, when you get to my age, they come around way too fast. So I'm just checking on our newt enclosures. These are all captive bred species of newts. We've got Spanish ribbed newts, we've got German great crested newts, and we've got some alpine newts. And they're doing really well outdoors in these outdoor enclosures, and we're just growing them on. At the moment, just youngsters we're rearing up for projects in the future. And talking of that, come and have a look at the wildlife pond. This is the pond we've created recently. Now I don't know if you can bring the camera down here. Come and have a look down, right down close. But you can see it's full of cyclops and daphnia, basically water fleas. Now of course water fleas aren't fleas, they're small planktonic creatures, and this pond is full of them. Lots of organic matter falling off the trees, and we do remove that from time to time, but it feeds, as it rots, it feeds these small tiny plankton, these water fleas. It feeds the water slaters, which are like a water louse, a bit like a wood louse, and so on and so forth. And in here, this pond is only being created this year. By the end of next spring, the pond weeds are going like mad, the pond plants and the edges, but we've got to naturalise this whole area. This area here has really got to start getting some undergrowth on it there for next spring, by next summer. Because as well as those small newts, I've also got other amphibians growing on, and what we want to put in this pond here is some pool frogs. Now pool frogs, a long time ago, were a British species of frog, and it'd be great if we can have some back here. So we've got some tiny pool frog, not tadpoles, froglets, little tiny pool frogs, but we can't release them here until this whole area has got some good undergrowth, a bit like this grass here, because that means they can be safe from predators. At the moment, if they leave the edge of the pond, they'd be in big trouble. So hopefully next year, I know we're going to have all kinds of amphibians in here. I know for sure in the spring we're going to have native amphibians come here, because I've found so many around. But I'd love to have a little colony of pool frogs living and breeding naturally here. It's a little experiment. We've also got, what else have we got? We've got edible frogs. They're not going here, they'll eat everything. They get big. We've got, oh goodness gracious, oh, green toads from the continent. So various amphibians, they're not to go here. They've all got different projects. Pool frogs here in our small wildlife pond. Last job today before we leave Icarus Falconry is get some food for the giant sulcata tortoise and for my Mediterranean tortoises, because they're still not hibernating quite yet. So great, isn't it? We've got nettles. Strangely, they really sting, but these nettles, as we've shown you in previous videos, they love the juicy green tops of them. So we get a few of those. And I'll just have a forage around, really, of what I can find. So nettles I love. What else have we got here? Well, I can tell you, we've got more nettles for sure, but we've also got some plantains. They love those. It's almost foraging for your tortoises. And I'll have a look around the site, and I'll find some good dandelion leaves and a variety of other plants. Really good quality food for sulcatas and Mediterranean tortoises. basically a weed diet. They absolutely love it. The sulcatas, as we've said before, they need to graze on grass as well, big time. But it's amazing, it really is. Like I said before, one man's weed, bit of clover, hold on. One man's weed is another man's tortoise food. Catch up with you soon. From Wurzel, me and Georgia here, thanks for watching. Hang in there until next week's vlog. See you soon.